afternoon, I'm Christy Houghton and you're watching the news at 4. In today's news, a Northamptonshire Safeguarding Children's Board have found a mother guilty of neglect. The cobblers confirm work is almost complete on the East Stand, and a local CAF is helping residents reduce food waste. The mother of a baby boy who died as they slept together on a sofa says she's shocked at a case review's findings. The child, known as Baby R, died in December 2014. Jamie Wright reports.
Yesterday's press conference into the serious case review of Baby R's death took place here at Franklin's Gardens. The chair of Northamptonshire's Safeguarding Children Board has revealed today the mother's shock at being labelled as an unfit mother after neglecting her children. Concerns about the welfare of her children were consistently raised with her, but the review says this was something she took no notice of. The baby boy, known as Baby R, died in December 2014 after several warnings from doctors that co-sleeping could be harmful. The review highlights that the mother's other children attended school in dirty and damp uniforms, smelled of urine, had repeated bouts of head lice, and were unfed. The findings of the serious case review into the death of Baby R were released at a press conference here at Franklin's Gardens yesterday. The review says that that boy died after co-sleeping with his mother. That was something she had been warned about in the past. It also found that she neglected her other children, highlighting that they attended school in damp uniforms and were underfed. The message of the review is clear. The mother had not engaged with health services and knowingly put herself and her children at risk.
Seats are being installed into the East Stand at Sixfield Stadium. The work is expected to be complete by next weekend. Ollie Conopo reports.
Just under 2,000 seats are currently being installed at Sixfield Stadium and will increase the ground's overall capacity to 8,000. Northampton Town's head of media, Gareth Wilshire, says work on the stand is on schedule.
As you can see behind us, the seats are being fitted. They've worked pretty quickly this week. They've gone from just having the frames into having most of the seats in. On target to have them open for the Notts County game a week on Saturday. They've worked pretty quickly this week, and hopefully over the next few days the installation will be completed.
How big an impact do you think that'll have on what's going on the field?
I think it will definitely help. I think just having the seats in there, even when they're empty, just improves the look and the feel of the stadium. I think it'll improve the atmosphere, and obviously we can get more people into the ground a week on Saturday, hopefully, to come and watch the team. So I think it's got benefits all round.
Do you expect the East Stand to sell out as quickly as the rest of the ground has?
Hopefully, certainly for the Luton game, we think demand will be really high. We're hoping it will sell out for the other games as well, because it's a big few weeks ahead, and hopefully the team can get over the line and achieve what they've set out to achieve this season. So it's just fantastic looking and feeling like a proper football stadium again.
Finally, Chris Wilder and all Cobblers fans are looking at the end of the Sixfields East Stand saga, ready for the final crucial 4 games of the season. Ollie Conopo, U1 News.
A drugs gang have been sentenced to 90 years in prison today at Northampton Crown Court. The gang are said to have had 30 drugs transactions amounting to £13 million. Kevin Bell and Anthony Delamere Bay both pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine. The 2 gang leaders received a total of 34 years in prison. Their sentences will be carried out at HMP Spring Hill. This follows a lengthy police investigation. Detective Chief Inspector Steve Durrant says both Bell and Delamere Bay showed contempt for the criminal justice system. British households could be financially worse off in Britain if Britain were to leave the EU. Agnes Jabita reports.
The average household in Northampton could be worse off by £1,700 a year if Britain quits the EU.
Northampton Borough Council are running a pilot scheme to tackle littering. They've been told by 3GS Environmental Solutions to enforce this. Josh Cole reports.
On the 4th of April, the council will announce new plans in an attempt to clean up Northamptonshire. People who do not clean up after their dogs or pick up litter will face fines of £80. If they do not pay these fines, they will have to go to the magistrates' court for a hearing. These plans will be implemented by enforcement officers employed by the council.
I think it's really good that people get charged for this kind of stuff, because it's not right. And if they are looking to enforce some policy, then I'm totally behind it, because
because it happens everywhere, as I said, and it's even when there's a policy, it's not always enforced anyway. So hopefully they will really enforce it this time and crack down on littering, because it is a plight that's everywhere to be seen, to be honest.
370,000 council and housing association homes could be lost in England by 2020, according to the head of the Chartered Institute of Housing. This could mean that the thousands of people already on waiting lists for council and housing association homes in towns and cities across the country may have to wait up to 91 weeks to be accommodated. To find out how this will have an impact in Northampton, Blessing Vanby spoke to Northampton and UKIP councillor Michael.
I would think that would be the reason that, you know, the council are actually selling off houses. I think that would be my initial thoughts. I don't actually know the real reason why that is, but I would think that was probably the reason that houses are being sold and not available in future for further rent. But I know that they are going to build some new houses. I think the biggest problem is when they've sold off council houses, they weren't allowed to keep the money to build further houses for, you know, affordable houses for people to rent. So until we can actually get more council houses built, then I can't see how the situation's actually going to get any better. We need to replace the ones that we've sold, and the further ones that we are selling, they need to be at least on a like-for-like basis, so we keep the numbers high, and then we can house all the people on the lists. And so my view on that in Brandon, those the £8 billion they say they've given to the councils to build or housing associations. Well, the proof will be in the pudding if they do actually build the houses, really, at the end of the day, or whether it's just, you know, the government making, you know, statements as such.
Latest reports show air pollution is still a problem in Northampton. Faisal Al-Wali reports.
Air pollution is a worldwide problem, but here in Northampton, the Borough Council takes measures of their own.
Is that we've got various points around the centre of the town where we continually monitor air quality. It is very difficult because it can be dependent on the traffic, and unfortunately at times if you get a hold up in the traffic, obviously the level of air pollution goes up. If the traffic generally keeps moving at a normal rate, then the air pollution is nowhere near as big as some of the bigger cities.
An illegal tattoo studio in a spare room has been closed down in Northampton, and more than £2,000 worth of equipment seized by environmental health officers. Charlie Atkinson reports.
Spencer Road was the location where an illegal tattoo studio was set up in a spare room. The council and environmental health officers worked together to seize over £2,000 worth of equipment, and the owner of the unlicensed parlour now faces prosecution. Jess Woolley is a student at the University of Northampton and a part-time support worker who paid £80 for a tattoo at the illegal parlour.
Well, it was recommended to me by my friend actually. She'd had one done by him already, and I really wanted this tattoo done, but I couldn't go to a proper artist because I didn't have that much money, because obviously I'm a student. But anyway, I went there and it actually seemed quite professional, but I was quite disappointed with the outcome of it, and then obviously I found out he wasn't a registered tattoo artist.
Disappointed with her tattoo, Jess now has to decide whether to have the tattoo removed or not.
I was a bit disappointed, yeah, because I paid £80 for this tattoo, which is a fair bit of money for me, and the quality of it isn't good at all, so I'll probably just get it covered up.
Northampton Borough Council have warned that anyone running a tattoo business must register with their local council or risk being caught, having their equipment removed and destroyed, or face possible prosecution.
Northampton St Giles Street is reopening for Easter to allow businesses to resume after more than a month of road disruption. The popular street will reopen only until Tuesday next week so that customers can be allowed to shop during the festive period. Lena Follow reports.
The High Street, which was named the High Street of the Year back in November last year, will reopen following its multi-million revamp. This will allow customers to be able to access shops during the Easter break and allow businesses to resume as usual.
So this afternoon we will be cleaning the site, road sweeping, and then we'll be taking off the road closure around about 1800 hours tonight. So this will be open for public use all over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then round about 5:30 to 6 o'clock on Tuesday morning.
And I guess Easter's just generally busier anyway, so I think, yeah, it'll be a good thing.
So how do you feel about St Giles opening again?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the best shopping streets in the whole country, and that more people from the whole of the UK should come here, and in fact Europe and the world if possible, because they really are. This is a unique shopping street, and it's a treasure that other people should come and discover.
A third of the world's food goes to waste. Elsie's Cafe in Northampton aims to use this waste to feed the public. Rebecca Pritchard has been to find out more.
Food is something we all love, but it's also something we take for granted. Relying purely on donations, this cafe uses leftovers and wasted food to make homemade cooked meals for those less fortunate. It has a pay what you feel policy. This means you can pay as much or as little as you want. Simon Willis, the director for Elsie's Cafe, had this to say.
It's basically a global fight against food waste. As you know, from RAP, I think there's about 40 million tonnes of waste food that goes to waste every year, and close to 1 million people used food banks in 2015. Just something doesn't add up. We work with Waitrose, and Waitrose have been fantastic. They've virtually donated all their food to us. We currently a week rescue close to half a tonne of food every week. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. This is just from a few retailers, a couple of supermarkets. At the moment, we're virtually, for such a small place that only opens 3 times a week, we're at full capacity. Our freezers are full. You know, we have to redistribute a lot of things. I mean, one of my main bugbears is sliced bread. Truth, the legislation doesn't mean anything. Action speaks louder than words. You know, like I said, I can only applaud organisations like Waitrose who are actually doing something positive and actually making it happen today and now, and not by 2025. You know, it should happen now. You know, like, you know, there's all this food going to waste every day. You know, where does it all go? It can only go one way, isn't it? In the bin.
And here's Katie Middleton with the sports.
Hooker Dylan Hartley is on the mend following concussion during the England game last Saturday. The captain of the England rugby team was knocked out after a knee to his head during the Six Nations final against France on Saturday. Hartley has admitted that he doesn't remember lifting the trophy just a few minutes after the incident in Paris. He will be guided by medics before returning to action for Northampton. Our reporter Charlie Ashby has been at Franklin's Gardens getting an update on the upcoming fixtures.
I'm here at Franklin's Gardens where the Saints have just held a press conference talking about the last few games in the Premiership. This is what they had to say.
What do you make of the final 5 games in the Premiership now? I mean, there's some pretty tough games in there, aren't there?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. We've got 3 home, so you know it's a good challenge for us to win these 3 games at home, and it sets us up to make the semi-finals. And if we can get another couple of wins away as well, it'll just boost us in time.
Nice to have your internationals back as well, George Rice and Kieran Brooks doing that.
Yeah, especially Gene Off, he brings a lot of energy and all of his jokes and stuff when he comes in and stuff. But, it's good to have the boys back, you know, been real positive, especially the Indian lads. We're happy from the Grand Slam and Six Nations as well. It's good to have them there.
A 24-year-old from Northampton has been named in the Great Britain squad for boxing at an Olympic qualification event. Chantal Cameron will be going to Turkey in April to compete for her place at Rio this summer. And finally, Cobblers takes on Newport tomorrow at Sixfields. The Northampton Town Football Club are now 11 points clear at the top of the table with a game in hand over second place Oxford. That's all for the sport for today. Back to Christy in the studio.
I'm Christy Houghton and you've been watching the News at 4.